Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We're so glad to have you here.
Yes.
We're using my iPhone as the camera tonight to try to get a better
Yeah, for some reason this
picture.
laptop does not like us.
Mhm.
So,
Well, it doesn't like our lighting, but
mm-mm.
the iPhone has better lighting. So it might look a little bit like we're not looking at the camera directly. Right there. Yes. So we're trying a new thing, and we're also on a different internet. We're actually on our hotspot, which is sad that our hotspot is more reliable than our Wi-Fi when we're
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah.
But that is okay. Hello, Naomi. Glad to have you all here, and all the people here on Instagram watching us. And we'll have, I'm sure, a few people from YouTube pop over. But we're looking forward to this week's topic. So we'll just give everyone a few moments to join and talk, and we're just excited to be here this evening. We're leading up to our favorite time of the year, the holidays, Thanksgiving, our daughter's birthday, Christmas, all those fun times, but also can be kind of stressful when we're
Yes.
trying to be healthy. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely something that we want to be conscious of. So we will go ahead and get started. So hopefully you all have a chance to join, because I know it seems to be a little bit of a slower night tonight
Yeah.
so far. So hopefully we'll have more people join. And as always, you can catch previous episodes of our podcast on YouTube if you want to watch the video. But the audio podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify podcasts. So to catch up one of our previous posts, feel free. And also, well, hello, Sherry from Florida.
Hi, Joy.
Joy's here. And speaking of Joy, if you're a member on our Facebook on the Healthiest Facebook group, there are multiple Zoom meetings you can join. Joy is now hosting a Friday night hula hooping inspired exercise live. So feel free, if you're not a member, it's a $5 a month and you get access to a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to pop on and give Joy some love. I know she would love to have some extra people on there. So wanted to give Joy a shout out there for being a coach over there. And I guess if we'll go ahead and get started. Courtney, if you want
Yes.
to introduce our topic for today.
Yes. Tonight we're talking about breaking the cycle of endless munching. Just basically, or mindless, not endless, mindless munching.
And endless munching. Sure,
I guess
we
so.
don't want endless munching.
But just when you're eating with, there's no reason to, just out of habit or, other reasons, just mindless snacking, basically.
Mhm. Absolutely. And hello, Ian, and we're so glad to have you here. We've got lots of our regulars here with us. So knew it was going to be a little bit of a slower trickle,
Hmm.
but we've got more people on there. So very glad Joy was scrambling to brush her teeth because she didn't want to miss. Yes, we didn't want you to miss either. So we're glad to have you here. Sorry, we've
Gotta
got
miss
a
my cat.
cat that's hi.
Hi.
Bye. Sorry. She normally doesn't bug us when
I know.
we're doing the
Never
lives.
bothers us.
But yes, so glad to have you here, Joy, and everyone else. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about when it comes to mindless snacking is identifying your triggers. Sometimes there are certain things that can
Mhm.
trigger you wanting to eat when you don't necessarily need to eat. I know sometimes, I know our daughter comes home, the first thing she wants is a snack. And you're like,
Yep.
well, are you really hungry? Kind of thing. So, want to make sure that if you're used to food or a snack at a certain time, you don't have to have that food or snack
Mhm.
if you're not hungry. So, be mindful of that too, and keep an eye on
Yeah.
triggers when you're in Costco. All those little samples can add up too. So, be mindful of those, and also be mindful of just grocery shopping when you're hungry too. We never do that. Well, we try not to. It's
Mhm.
very dangerous.
Yes, absolutely. But also just making sure you're not eating because you're bored, out of habit. There are lots of different reasons that we eat. And really the only reason you should be eating is because you're hungry and like because you're legitimately hungry.
Hmm.
I mean, I know sometimes you might just eat because the food is there, but we need to identify those triggers that cause you to eat when you don't need to be eating. I know for me, the time that I eat, like have the most like mindless snacking is at night.
Hmm.
It's one, either out of habit, like I feel like I should have like a sweet treat or something while I'm laying in bed, winding down for the night, or because I'm just bored. I'm just laying there bored. Um, And that's definitely something that I've noticed. And we will talk about this as well, but sometimes I have to like plan out certain snacks
Hmm.
just because I know like I will end up eating something I shouldn't if I don't have something
Hmm.
planned.
Yeah, and the same for me. It's when I'm not busy. So when I'm busy with work, I have a tendency to only eat when I'm hungry.
Hmm.
Um, but you're right. In the evening time, the same for my mom. She mentions that she can do really good all day, but it's when you're bored
Yeah.
and have less to do, and you're more likely to go overboard. And we're glad to have you here, Barbara, live with us, so you don't have to watch it on YouTube. And thanks so much for the comment.
Thank you.
Always love when people can catch us live instead of watching the recording.
Mhm.
But on that note, I know I like to sometimes I say that I need a fidget, so I just sometimes if I'm bored, having something in my hand might help keep me off of the snacking food,
Mhm.
and that can be something that can be good to have.
Yes, and someone on Instagram mentioned that they drove 6 hours today and ate potato chips. They weren't hungry at all. That is one thing I noticed when I go on a trip. Like I will eat anything and everything because I feel like on a trip, especially like a road trip, I feel like I should eat all the unhealthy foods for no reason whatsoever. It's
Hmm.
kind of like a habit. Like I just like I will purposefully seek out the unhealthy foods
Hmm.
because I'm on a road trip. That's just and that's just a thing for a lot of people.
Hmm. Yep. So that's definitely something to be mindful of. Hey,
Hey Devin,
Devin
he's
and
Shelly.
Chili, glad to have you all here. So be mindful. So if you know you're going to be on a road trip like that, 6 hours is whew, is difficult. Have those healthy snacks,
Mm-hmm.
but do those things that might keep your mind off of things. You know, if you have a 5 or 6 year old like we do, she's almost six. Play those card games.
Mm-hmm.
We play the alphabet game. She's been loving lately the guessing game. What?
I was just reminding you.
To look at the camera.
Yeah,
It's okay. Yeah,
we're bickering.
yeah. Um, so you can play games. So she has a guessing game, like so she thinks of characteristics for characters on movies. Do things to keep your mind off
Mhm.
of the eating. Sing songs really loud, or take a nap like Courtney likes to do sometimes. She'll take a nap while I'm
I
driving.
love naps. But it really, I mean, if you're sleeping, you're not eating. So,
Yes, and Joy mentioned she started eating a little earlier, so they're not hangry around dinner time. So they ate around 4:30, and then she said it's 7:30 and not hungry at all, so she's feeling satisfied. We've actually had that conversation before, where kids come home. Like our daughter comes home at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and she had lunch sometimes at
mhm.
10:30, and so she's starving by the time she comes home. So having that earlier dinner might be helpful.
We actually, before we moved, we would eat dinner literally at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, but then we would plan some sort of healthier snack because we knew by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, we'd be hungry again. So we would plan some sort of healthier snack option. Like it was planned in our day, which goes with our next thing is to keep like a journal. A food journal tracking on healthy is
Mhm.
great, but just something so that you're aware of what you're eating,
Mhm.
and you can plan better that way as well. Also, I've also heard of planning why you're like not planning, but writing out on your journal why you're eating.
Mhm.
Like, and it will also make you more aware if you're eating just because you're bored and you're writing that down on your journal. Like, I had, potato chips. Reason? Bored. Like, it might help you realize,
Mhm.
like, when you're doing that instead of like, "Oh, I'm not hungry, I'm just bored." So, journaling and planning definitely are great ways to
Mhm.
kind of help you in the mindless snacking, especially if you're not aware. Because sometimes, like I've said it multiple times already, sometimes it's habit.
Mhm.
Sometimes you grab those potato chips or those Reese's or, something you shouldn't be having
Mhm.
just because it's habit.
Mhm. And like you said, making sure that you're hungry is really a big thing too. Sometimes you might be thirsty, and sometimes there might be other reasons. So make sure that if you are legitimately hungry, eat. We always
Mhm.
a big proponents, even if you're out of bites,
Yep.
out of calories. If you're legitimately hungry, it is important to eat because your body does need that fuel.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing which kind of goes along with it is check your hunger level before you eat, especially if it's not like a normal meal time. am I actually hungry?
Hmm.
Do I need this? And with that goes drinking water. Sometimes if you haven't had enough water, you feel hungry, but you're actually thirsty.
Hmm.
So sometimes if it's, especially if it's not like dinner time and we're just having food for the heck of it, sometimes we will like chug some water just to make sure we're really hungry. And sometimes we're not hungry after we have that water. Sometimes
Hmm.
we still are. So check your hunger levels before you eat and make sure you're legitimately hungry.
I also find that just in case I'm thirsty, I'll do this. But in general, I will have like a glass of water before I have anything. One, just in case I'm thirsty and not hungry, and two, also that kind of helps get me full a little bit faster, so I'm not as likely to eat as much as I probably could
Mhm.
have.
Yes, absolutely. And it really does help fill you up. I personally, like if I really want something sweet, but I know I'm not hungry and I just want it for the heck of it, I will have sparkling water. Because it's sweeter, it's kind of bubbly, it fills up my stomach, but
Hmm.
like if I'm not hungry, I don't need to eat something just because.
Yes, that carbonation, whether it's sparkling water or a calorie-free soda, those can definitely be big helpers
Hmm.
in keeping you mindful eating. And I remember Barbara mentioned eating on the road to keep them awake. And as long as you don't drink it super fast, sodas can also do the same thing, because you don't want to stop and go to the bathroom very often. But if you just take a sip here or there when you're a little bit sleepy, that can also help you stay
Yeah.
awake without having those needless
Mhm.
calories.
Yes. Also, practicing mindful eating, like put away your phone, don't have distractions, don't have the TV. Practicing mindful eating really does help. If you
Hmm.
don't have those distractions, like for instance, you want to eat just because you're in front of the TV. If you don't have the TV there, you're not going to have that problem.
Hmm.
So practice mindful eating so you can really focus on what you're doing, focus on your
Hmm.
hunger cues, your full cues, all of those things.
Exactly. So that's also helping you to not build those habits. We try not to eat in front of the TV. Although that doesn't always work out sometimes. But that sets kind of bad habits and precedent, so that you think that every time you sit down, you're going to need to have a snack or a meal. So that's something that you can do
Mhm.
as well. So to keep yourself focused on the purpose of what you're doing is eating, and then also, like she said, make sure that you can focus that I really am full. I don't need to eat anymore. But if you're watching TV, you might just mindlessly finish the plate until until
Mhm.
you're past the point of fullness.
Yes.
Joy mentions listen to your body. Don't eat it just because it's the middle of 3 in the morning and you think you need a snack. You're if you're not hungry, wait. That's
Mhm.
Joy is a big proponent for mindful eating, and that comes in handy to also um mindful eating also means scheduling your meals around when you feel hungry, not when you normally are
Mhm.
hungry. Granted, sometimes with work, you can't always do that. You can't always stop in the middle of what you're doing and have a meal, depending on when your meal breaks are. But practice mindful eating as much as you possibly can.
Sorry, I just squared myself in the face with some. Sorry. Another thing is to pre-portion your snacks, especially if you do eat some of those like unhealthy snacks like potato chips or things of that nature. Pre-portion them
Hmm.
and you will be less likely to just sit there and mindlessly snack on them because
Yes.
you have one set amount. And also don't go grab like 5 portions. Grab one portion. So
Somebody on Instagram says making a dinner that is satisfying and filling makes them not want to snack
yes.
after dinner. So if
Yes.
you eat a really full, filling, protein-packed meal, you're not going to be as likely to snack
Yes,
either.
and that actually is a point that I forgot to put on our notes is protein. If you eat your protein, protein packed snacks, protein packed meals, you will be less likely to have that mindless snacking because you're not going to be as hungry throughout the day. So make sure you get your protein in.
Absolutely. Speaking of protein, Courtney had one of those Starbucks drinks that had the protein cold foam. The protein has what, like
I forget how, I don't know exactly
20,
how much the
23
cold
grams
foam
of
has.
protein. But in just the cold foam alone, 23 grams, 20 something ish grams of protein. So she had that, and it was practically a meal for her. She was so full that she didn't have to have her snack.
Hmm.
Granted, there was a little bit of she did the shake the oat milk,
Brown sugar shaken espresso.
which is generally a lower calorie
Hmm.
one anyway, so it wasn't like having a full blown sugary coffee. So that is definitely something that's really good. And then Vicky mentions sipping on hot water in the evening to make them feel full after dinner.
Yes. I actually have started drinking decaf coffee in the evenings because that also helps me, like, it feels like I'm having a little bit of something, but I'm not having like a whole like food that I'm going to eat way too much of. So, and that's another reason, like hotness, just something about it just makes me not really want any more food. Like
Hmm.
I actually just had my coffee before this and I'm like legitimately like satisfied, full. I don't think I'm going to need anything else. So that's actually a really good idea. Just sipping hot water,
Hmm.
decaf coffee, like, because you don't really want all the caffeine at night. So decaf is great, but yeah.
Hmm. And then also, I used to think this was weird, but they make these. They're like tea bags, but they're broth. So you can basically make your own kind of lower calorie broth as a snack too.
Mhm.
Similar concept. It's warm. It's satisfying. It tastes more than just plain, so that can give you a little bit of feeling of fullness. Plus, if you get some bone broth that has some protein in it too, is very 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 helpful.
Yes, absolutely. The next thing is to plan your meals and meal prep when possible. If you plan ahead, that also goes with what we talked about earlier, keeping a journal, tracking all the things. If you plan ahead, you're also less likely to mindlessly eat because you have a plan for the day.
Hmm.
Also, if you do know certain times that you mindlessly eat, I kind of mentioned this earlier, plan foods around those times if you know you have problems.
Hmm.
I will plan a nighttime snack almost every day
Hmm.
because I know when I get in bed and relax, I'm going to want a snack. I will plan something, but I will make sure it fits into my day so I
Hmm.
don't go overboard. That also goes with the pre portioning that I mentioned earlier. Pre portion those snacks as well. If you know you've planned a serving of potato chips at night, portion out a serving of potato chips
Hmm.
so you don't just have the whole entire bag and end up eating the whole thing.
Hmm. And then Joy, as part of her suggestion that fits in with our prepping, dividing your leftovers. If you We sometimes will cook and plan a dinner that will have
Mhm.
leftovers for the next day, but the key is going ahead and dividing that and putting it away. So we will make our dinner,
Mhm.
we'll portion out our dinner, but then go ahead and put right there before we finish, put those leftovers in a container and put them in the fridge so that they are
Yeah.
set aside for lunch tomorrow and they're not accidentally eaten tonight with dinner because we are still hungry.
Yes, Chris will actually get the containers out and he will automatically go ahead and put the stuff away so that we know it's there and we do not get into, plus we have other adults in the house too. So we just want to make sure that nobody eats our leftovers. So he will go ahead and like pre-portion it, get it put aside and it's out of sight, out of mind.
So similar concept too. So if you're out and you're eating at a restaurant, we like to get a box in advance
Mhm.
and go ahead and put that aside because if it's in front of you, you'll be more likely to eat it,
Yeah.
whether you're hungry or not. And 9 times out of 10, we can now be satisfied with half of the meals that we can get at a lot of restaurants. Sometimes we have to eat a little bit more, but we can save like a third of it and then have that to
Mhm.
be for a snack or another meal later. But portion that out and separate it right away, because Courtney will say, "I don't know why I'm still eating this," and she'll
Yeah.
be taking bites. I'm not hungry anymore. So that's when it's really beneficial to get that box in advance and go ahead and separate. The waiters usually know why you're doing that, and they
Mhm.
won't look at you funny.
Yeah. But I have certain places where I go and I know it's going to be 2 meals. Like Taco Mama, I get the nachos, I will automatically separate it into a box because I know if that's in front of me, I'm going to eat more than I need to. But if I have separated it, so definitely use that if you have a tendency to eat more at a restaurant than you need to and you just mindlessly eat.
Hmm.
And also, have as many healthy options as possible.
Hmm.
Have those protein chips. If you know chips is your go-to, have Quest chips, have Wild chips. We talk about those all the time.
Hmm.
Have protein chips, have protein bars, protein shakes. I know I keep saying protein, but protein is key. Have those
Hmm.
things. Prep the protein pudding if you can. Prep a yogurt bowl, which our recipe tonight is a yogurt bowl. Prep these things that will help you and make sure you have the healthier options.
Hmm. Absolutely. And Joy mentioned a trick for her that she learned from her mom is brushing her teeth after every meal, especially your tongue. Has a tendency to help take away the hunger, but also it sets that your body's expectations. Your habit, you eat, you brush your teeth. Your body your mind knows you're finished, and it takes your mind off things. It kind of distracts you as well.
Yes. And with that, this kind of goes with it. Find activities to keep your mind off of food when you're not hungry. Find those things that will help. If you're bad about wanting to um, eat while you're watching TV, find something to do while you're watching TV, whether it be if you like to crochet, do word find puzzles, walk in place, have a walking pad, whatever it is that you can do to keep yourself from that mindless snacking. Find an activity, a hobby, something that you like to do that can keep you
You
from
can
the
color.
mindless eating. Coloring.
Yeah, there's a lot of really neat adult coloring books that you can get.
And then also remove temptations. I've talked about how I love my Reese's. I will always love my Reese's. I love my Reese's. But sometimes I cannot have those in the house. I just can't. So sorry, I got distracted. I don't know why. But do not have temptations in the house. If you know that your weakness is Reese's or chips, sometimes you can't even have those around you. And I know like balance is key, but you also have to be smart about it and don't allow the things around you that you will sit and mindlessly eat at night and eat a whole entire bag of. I cannot have a whole entire bag of Reese's in my house. He has to hide them from me. And I especially cannot have the ones that are not wrapped. If they're wrapped, I realize what I'm doing. That's why pre-portioning is so important, because you're having to unwrap each thing or open up each bag. But I can't have they make the little Reese's that are unwrapped. I can't have those in the house. He can be my witness. I cannot have those in the house. I will eat the whole entire bag. So remove temptations if you have to.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think that was it.
All right. So we had multiple people in previous weeks talk about our yogurt bowls. So Courtney wanted to have that as our recipe for tonight. And these yogurt bowls are super tasty, easy, and also very, very customizable. You can swap out any of the toppings you want. Any topping you're feeling, you can throw that on there and change it. So let me go ahead and bring that up. Oh, Vicky mentioned she has a color by number that she found on the App Store on her phone that is very fun. Love those.
Yes. So this is our yogurt bowl that we talk about all the time. I add my Reese's to this. So good. This is our have what you want with what you need. This is the what you need protein filled stuff with what you want, or Reese's or whatever toppings you want. But anyways, start with a half a cup of cottage cheese, any cottage cheese you want. It can be fat free, low fat, whatever. A container. When I say container, I mean the small, like individual size containers, not like a big, but like a little individual serving container of non-fat vanilla yogurt or any kind that you want. We use Greek yogurt. I like vanilla. He likes other flavors, whatever flavor you want. 4 tablespoons of fat-free whipped topping, 2 teaspoons of a 0-calorie sweetener. I get choked up every time we do our recipe.
Almost out.
Oh no. Can you do this?
Yes. So start by blending your cottage cheese. If you don't mind the chunks in your yogurt bowl, you can skip this. Courtney is a big texture thing, so she likes to have that blended. And then once the cottage cheese is blended, mix all the ingredients together and add whatever topping you want on your yogurt bowl.
Yes. Sorry.
And so it's 5 to 6 bites, depending on what plan you're on. 220 calories, which is a very small amount for a snack or a breakfast. 18.5 net carbs. 28 grams of protein, which is amazing because you get the protein from the cottage cheese, the yogurt. I don't know if there's anything in the whipped topping, but that's still a significant amount of protein.
Yes, we've also done a full cup of cottage cheese, so 2 servings just to up the protein even more, especially when we have it for breakfast. The cottage cheese kind of gives it like a cheesecake type vibe, so it's not gross, but it's delicious.
And we've also thrown in a quarter cup or a cup of quick oats and prepped it at night to do like an overnight oat type thing.
Yes, we do add. Did you say how much? A quarter cup?
Yeah, a quarter cup or a half cup, depending. But usually a quarter cup of quick oats at night, mix it together.
Yes.
So it's a delicious breakfast the
Yes.
next morning. Courtney will put Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Reese's on top. If we have any, I like to put some fresh strawberries or blueberries on
I've
top of
also
mine.
done Fiber One bars crushed up, Pop Tarts crushed up. Basically, whatever I'm feeling that day is what's going to go on it.
Yes.
Also the cinnamon Catalina Crunch. If you want more protein, is very good as well.
Yes. So it is so customizable. We've done these for breakfast. Like I said, having the oats in there. We've had them for snacks. At night, she's added a little bit of sugar-free pudding mix to it to make it even more thicker and sweet. And then she's made it into a dessert.
Yep.
So you can customize this and have it for dessert. You can have it for a breakfast. You can have it for a snack. You can have it for a meal. It's very, very good. But we generally will blend. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll just blend a whole cup or
A
a
whole
container
container.
of cottage cheese, and then we just portion it after the fact, just because we go through so much of it. We probably have some weeks between 4 and 5 containers of cottage cheese between the two of us.
Yeah.
Shelly, we will. I'll try to see if we can post some
Yeah.
pictures. We haven't made one in a little while, but
Yeah, I need to make one soon. Now this is making me really want one.
yes, and it's really good and easy to prep at night for breakfast the next morning. So we probably will go ahead and try to do some soon, and we'll bring some pictures
Yep.
next time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week on another Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
Yep.
And I hope you found something helpful from this conversation, and we hope to see you next week. And don't forget to support Joy in her new venture Friday night. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you can. Somebody on Instagram asked what brand cinnamon crunch.
It's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
Yeah, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Then there's also
Store
Catalina.
brand.
There's also Catalina Crunch that has the protein in it, and it's their cinnamon like cereal flavor.
Yeah, so it's very similar to Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but any kind that you want. Very, very helpful. Very good. But the Catalina Crunch specifically has more protein. But we like the off-brand too. So the Cinnamon Toast Crunch we'll do off-brand too. But again, thank you so much for joining us this week. Feel free to comment if you have a particular topic you'd like to talk about, or if you have a recipe that you want to for us to bring up to you. You know, the recipe tonight was thanks to somebody last week asking for the recipe. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see you next week. Bye everyone.